What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Watch, and today we got a brand new video. We're continuing the Grand Cross hype train, and we are doing another beginner's guide video in our series. This is number 4. We're going to be going over who are the best units to focus on in this game. Now, as of yesterday's video, I believe YouTube was having an issue, and I think Nagato had the same problem, where the videos just weren't being put out to the sub boxes. So yesterday's video was a guide on evolution and evolution materials, where to find SSR pendants, where to farm SSR pendants, and just, you know, SR pendants, rare pendants, things like that, but SSRs being the most rare. If you haven't checked out that video, check it out. I'm going to be including all these videos in a playlist, so, you know, if you missed anything or you're skipping around, I do have them numbered, of course, but there are other videos in between here and there. You know, I'll throw in guides, such as like tier lists, things like that, other opinions. Make sure you keep up to date with what's going on if you want to be on top of your grind for this game. Now, moving forward, like I said, today's video is going to be going over who are the best units to focus on. Because a lot of people, even though the game just came out and you only have a handful of characters, even within those handful of characters, you know, it might not be completely obvious which ones are the best, you know, best units to go after. So to start off, I do have, I'm going to be going back and forth between this page and just here. But this is sdsgc.gg. It's a great, wonderful website to use, or tool to use in order to kind of watch what's going on. Here we have a tier list that I helped kind of revise a little bit. So I have like my input in here as well. And for the most part, I pretty much agree with this tier list. So I'll be using this as a reference in determining who to focus on. But to start off with, let's wrong one. That was my Japanese stuff overlay. But to start off, there are 2 units or 3 units you really want to focus on. One of them being, as you can see here, I have SR Ban. This is the story bond that you were given, I believe in chapter 2 or 3. No, I think it was 2. In 3 you got King. So in chapter 2 you were given this bond as an SR. As part of the story, the game pretty much wants you to awaken him to UR. So by the end of the game, you're going to have to get him to UR anyways. So you might as well focus on him, because he's really, really helpful for story mode. He's also helpful just in general, mostly because of one main skill. Now, let's take a look at this one, right? So we have Eliminate Spirit. Inflicts whatever damage and depletes 1 ultimate gauge orb. So this is huge, because you're able to delay the enemy's ultimate. Whenever they have, you know, an ultimate, it usually hurts a lot. And this bond being able to take 1 ultimate gauge away single-handedly makes him super, super good. He's gonna be almost necessary to beating like endgame content when we get the new chapters. So when chapter 6 comes out, 6.5, 7, etc., you're gonna be using this bond a lot. So keep that in mind. Now, besides Ban, another character that you want to focus on is King. And this is going to be going back to the tier list. If you haven't watched my personal tier list, I also have, you know, King at the top over there. But King is currently the King and Diane, or Diana? Diane? Diana? Yeah? Okay. King and Diane are the only 2 units that are coin shop units that are available in the game. Coin shop units meaning that you cannot summon for them. They are not in the general pool. They can only be purchased from the coin shop, even though we only see Diane there right now. King will end up in there. But you can get them as free-to-play units. So you get King in chapter 3, and you get Diane at the end of chapter 4. So those 2 units are amazing. King being especially broken. And the main reason for King being broken is just his whole kit is very, very well set up. You have the heal, so the bronze card just removes debuffs, but from the second point on, He heals 30% HP and then 50% on his green card. So he's an amazing healer. This move, Petrify, is super good. On his silver card, he petrifies, which means that he freezes the enemy for a turn. That is busted in story, in PvP. Then of course, to wrap it all up, the cancer at the top, you got his ultimate. So Shatter ignores resistances. Pretty much he just hits like a truck with this move. And because he's a coin shop unit, you're able to buy dupes of him. I don't want to say with ease, but you're over time going to be able to purchase dupes of this king. So because of that, you're able to get his ultimate up higher and higher. Because in this game, when you get dupes, all it does is it increases your ultimate damage and nothing else, right? It doesn't add any extra effects besides pure raw damage. And this goes for every single character in the game. There's no, other benefit other than raw damage, and then it gives 400 CP or CC to your character. So this king is pretty cancerous in PvP because he can go, gain ultimate gauge, petrify the person. Let's say the enemy is running a Bond, and he can snatch away your, ultimate. So you petrify the Bond, and now they have no way to deal with your ultimate, and you just wipe their whole team out. PvP, PvE, raids, king is amazing. Please focus him. So you got king and you got Bond. Those are your two primary ones. Now, at this point, you want to go with whoever you rerolled with as your kind of your third main unit. So for me, I would focus on Meliodas after the king. And in this case, you could do Meliodas or king. You don't have to do one or the other in particular. That's going to be kind of like the order of which you want to go about. So after you do, your Bond, your king, whoever your other SSR is that you rerolled for, from there I would focus on this guy, because he is also similar to Bond, where the game wants you to awaken him. And if you follow the hero way, which you can get to from the home screen, right? It should be in the top left right here. You can kind of take a look. I don't know if I can see the whole list, but starting off from the beginning, it makes you already awaken, it just makes you do stuff, and it gives you a bunch of rewards. So it has you level up your SR Blue Meliodas, awaken him, then, more stuff. And now it's having me make him UR. And eventually it'll have me awaken him to, UR 65. Which is going beyond the level 60 level cap. He's the next one you want to focus on after that. Even if you have Green Meliodas, you're just going to get a lot of rewards out of using him. And it's also going to be nice for elemental missions where, just having the Blue Meliodas might be more beneficial due to Green Meliodas being countered by red. One other reason. Besides that, we're going to go back to the tier list then. Going back to the tier list, let me actually zoom in a little bit more. So, the first thing I said was, we have this Bond, this king, and then in my case, I said Meliodas for me, but let's say you rerolled Jericho, Hauser, Arthur, just someone else. You can focus on them next. From there, I would focus on, Blue Meliodas. And from here, this is where things get a little bit tricky. I would most likely go back to Blue Diane right here and focus on her. But what ends up happening is SSR pendants are hard to come by. And if you don't know how to get them, make sure you watch my previous video. Or sorry, it should be 2 videos from now. Right, because this is number 4. That was video number, beginner's guide number 2. So I explain how to get these. But besides that, if you do not have enough SSR pendants to work on another SSR, from there you start looking at the SRs. And I don't really have that many good SRs. Actually, I do have one. If you have this Elizabeth, this is who you'd go for next. This Elizabeth is right here, and the main reason for aiming for her is because of Red Demon or Red Red Demon Deathmatch or whatever the heck it is. You'll do it once during your story, but this is more for people who have completed the story already up until Chapter 5. Once you complete Chapter 5, you can freely do... I don't even think you have to complete it. I think you just have to get to Chapter 5, and you can freely do Red Demons. Red Demons drop raid material that allow you to go to level 65, and I can kind of quickly show you with Ban. So if I go here, it no longer says Evolve, it says Limit Break. So you can see here that I need 20 of these, and where the heck do you get these from? So you get these from doing the Demon. And that's where this Elizabeth comes in handy. So this Elizabeth, the main reason why she's so good is because of her passive. Every turn, if she did not take any damage, her stats go up by 10%. And in Red Demon, the strategy to beating Red Demon is to petrify or freeze him every single turn. If you do that, Elizabeth eventually ends up cycling out of control with damage and just ramps up an infinite amount of time. And it's pretty much this move that does all the damage, where she ignores defense. But that's going to be mostly, like, for the most part, who is your priority. So going back to the top, start off with Ban, King, your other SSR, my case Meliodas. If you don't have a good SSR, that's fine. You know, just go to the next person on the list. So Ban, King, Meliodas, or whoever. From here, I would go to, who did I say? Blue Meliodas. Like, if you don't have green Meliodas, 100% go to blue Meliodas. Like, that's not even a question. From blue Meliodas, back to Diane if you have the materials to spare for her. Or, you know, if not, then start working on your SRs. And the priority SR is going to be Elizabeth and Hawk. Not this Elizabeth. This Elizabeth is a healer. She's amazing. But this is not the one that you need right now. This Elizabeth and Hawk is going to be really good. And then from there, you can just keep kind of following this tier list, see who you own, and work on them in that order. Link will be down below for this website. You just go up to the tier list tab, you can go under characters, and see all the characters in the game, even the ones that are not released on Global that exist on JP. You can also take a look at the teams here, and there's guides and everything. So, great website to use, great utility tool to use. Hopefully that explains the priority of which units to go for, and I kind of went in and explained a little bit in more detail why certain units are better than others. But yeah, that's really it. So hopefully you all enjoy, and until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out.